What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of Trying Every Sesame Chicken in Gainesville, Georgia. Today we are doing Chef Wang's Chinese restaurant. So Chef Wang's is located in the West Side District, which encompasses Lakeshore Mall, Target, Walmart, and other shopping centers and food spots, and a fair bit of housing, but today we're just focusing on this restaurant. To keep in line with the distance and time between previous restaurants, it's only about 5 miles or 15 minutes to Chef Wang's from Happy China. On a quick note, from what the lore I've heard, apparently the owners of another restaurant on our list, Wang's, were the original owners of Chef Wang's, hence the namesake. Within the last 10-15 years, they sold it, I believe, and so the correlation is a little more gray, and therefore I can't really speak to any menu or recipe similarities. When I pulled up, the parking lot was empty, which is a little surprising given it was around 1:30 on Tuesday. On entering, I was greeted immediately by a friendly host along with a very inviting and cozy interior. I placed my order and sat down waiting for the food. For my order, I ordered the chef special and the golden chicken fingers. While placing my order, I asked if they had any menus I could take home, and they did. But the host noted they were older and not as accurate. So it wasn't until I got home that I noticed they may have or had a lunch special, which comes with super crab ragoons. So I decided to go back on another day and order those two, so I can be able to give it the best rankings possible. The overall aesthetic of the place felt very out of the 90s. They had red carpet, plain chairs and tables. The windows were tinted, allowing a more calm lighting inside, with Chinese instrumental music playing softly in the background. To me, this is what my introduction to American Chinese food looked like as a kid. I really would just enjoy coming to this place on a cold day, just to have some hot tea and relax. I want to keep my opinions on the food ratings solely on the food, but it will be hard to maintain my bias because I felt so moved by my experiences in the restaurant. For anyone looking for a nice quiet time in all the restaurants I'm trying, I would definitely recommend coming here. On to trying the food, the chef special comes with more servings overall, so at the time of editing, I've been able to get 3 meals out of this. A quick aside, the chef special also comes with an egg roll, so I'm super excited about that. Starting off with the fried rice, we are somewhere in between a level 1 and a level 2 fried rice, meaning that it did have eggs and vegetables, but it was not as jam-packed as Happy China. The flavor overall had an oily flavor, but I really enjoyed that about it, and the overall texture, the mouthfeel, was exceptional, and this is the best kind of rice to start off a meal with. For the chicken, they use really big cuts of what looks to be chicken breast. Cooking-wise, they really nailed it, as it's really super tender. Most of the time, chicken breast is really easy to overcook, so they really did a good job here. Adding on to that, as you can see, they did a really thin layer of breading, so you're really getting the best quality of chicken all around. Sauce-wise, it's somewhere between food court level and fine dining. It wasn't overly sweet, but it was a delightful flavor. As I finished off the plate off camera, and along with having my second bowl later, I fell more in love with the flavor. It definitely feels like something they make in-house. What I mean by that is that you can taste and feel the freshness of the flavor, where it didn't really leave a weird mouthfeel when you were done. These two things alone would have been great with some hot tea. The egg roll was super crispy. I found zero evidence of any sogginess, especially after sitting in the bag for at least 20 minutes. I initially thought the sweet and sour sauce was for the egg roll, as if they gave me a huge portion, but it turns out it was actually for the golden chicken. The sauce was really good. I think it worked out really good with the egg roll, but I actually look forward to trying it with the golden chicken fingers. Speaking of, that is the fun side, which while I was driving made the car smell like pancakes, which makes sense because for this they use a batter, whereas for the sesame chicken they use a breading. Once I dipped it in the sauce, it was out of this world. One of the best things I've had so far in this series, and they just knocked it out of the park. Again, the fun sides are never part of the ranking, but dude, it was just so freaking delicious, and I just really recommend everybody go try it. Go over to the place, get some hot tea, and some golden chicken fingers, and have a great time. Rounding out the meal, jumping back to the sesame chicken and the egg roll, I had thought about trying them both with kimchi. Officially, this isn't a part of the ranking, just something I wanted to try. The chicken went well with it. I think if I had some newer, crunchier kimchi, you would have this nice contrast of sweet and tart, along with the crunchy and the soft. Then with the egg roll, I tried it with kimchi and sweet and sour sauce to really jam as much flavor together as possible, and it was another knockout of the park. Later in the week, I went back to try the crab ragoons and the egg drop soup. They were a lot busier this time, and the hostess was running back and forth to try to take to-go orders and taking people's dine-in orders. They were quick on the order, and I rushed back home to try it. The ragoons were sweet, crunchy, and creamy, and I enjoyed the presentation. Dipping them in the sauce, or by themselves, they were great all around. And the egg drop soup, which is my favorite soup to order at restaurants, was fantastic. This would also be a great thing to have on a cold day. Since the lunch special is an either-or situation, personally I think I'd rather finish my meal with a sweet treat. So whenever I go back, I'll order the special with the ragoons. On to the ranking. Even though I didn't directly order the lunch special, I was able to make it at home myself. I really think the food was great. Everything was fresh. It was delicious. I really think, and I hope that I've made a clear point that this place is really awesome. With all that, I'm giving this place the rank of an A.